Good evening, everybody. I will be your crypt keeper this evening for the first update of the Halloween Havoc Spooktacular event. It's hard to believe it's October 15th already, and we're almost through the spooky season. Huge shout out to everybody, all of my Patreon members, for this was the biggest event that we've had so far when it came to turnout. Thank all of you for making this such a wonderful occasion. So without further ado, let us get into the Halloween Havoc event. First off, we're going to start out with the largemouth/mixed bag standings. First off, I would love to give a huge shout out to Patrick, Jordan, Dave, and Dan Grove. They all are going to donate money and product to help go towards some of our awards and prizes. As soon as I get all that figured out on the back end, I will let everyone know where that prize and money will be going towards. Big fish, first place, what have you. But again, huge shout out to Patrick, Jordan, Dave, and Dan for really coming through with helping us out with the prizes for this spooktacular event. So without further ado, let us get into the Halloween Havoc event. First off, we're going to start out with the largemouth/mixed bag standings. In 11th place, with 28.25 inches, we have Derek Smith. In 10th place, with 32.50 inches, we have Kemp Davis. In 9th place, we have Jason Nice, with 45.75 inches. In 8th place, we have Stephen Beck with 78.75 inches. In 7th place, with 86.75 inches, we have Michael Erkert. In 6th place, with 103.00 inches, we have Brian Bowers. And then getting into the top 5 in this spooky event, we have Shane Hook with 118 inches on the dot. In 4th place, we have Charlie Russell with 121.00 inches right on the dot. In 3rd place, we have Jason Church with 121.75 inches. In 2nd place, and a newcomer into the top of the standings with 126 inches, we have Roy Jones. And then for this spooktacular event, in 1st place so far with 139 inches, we have Aaron Ball. And now let us move on to the Largemouth Big Fish Awards. How we do this, if this is your first event, I am taking the 5 biggest largemouth caught by separate anglers from the event. So if your name is example Hunter Smith and you end up catching 5 largemouth that are all 30 inches long, I will only count one of them, and then we will go to the next biggest largemouth caught by a different individual. That way we keep it a little sporty during this all festive season. And so without further ado, let us get into the Big Fish Awards. The 5th largest largemouth caught so far in the event goes to Shane Hook. Shane, thank you, with this beautiful 18-inch watermelon. In 4th place, with the 4th largest largemouth so far brought to the scales, is Stephen Beck, with this beautiful 21.00-inch watermelon, or should we say pumpkin. In 3rd place, we have Roy Jones with this beautiful 21.25-inch largemouth. Absolutely a gorgeous fish. In 2nd place, the 2nd biggest largemouth brought into this world is Aaron Ball with this beautiful 21.25-inch beautiful humped-back largemouth. And then, without further ado, Jason Church with this beautiful 22-inch behemoth of a largemouth brought to the scales. Absolutely adorable fish. This so far, if the tournament would end today, these are your 5 biggest largemouth so far recorded. And again, it goes Shane Hook, 18 inches, Stephen Beck, 21 inches, Roy Jones, 21.25, Aaron Ball, 21.25, and Jason Church with a beautiful 22-inch largemouth. Let us get into the Smallmouth division. How the smallmouth division works is it's just smallmouth. You can catch them from anywhere, but the Smallmouth Big Fish Awards do have a special trick and treat to it that we'll get into shortly. But first, what are the standings right now in the smallmouth division? In 15th place with 15 inches, we have Brian Lucas. In 14th place with 27 inches, we have Nick Myers. In 13th place with 73.25 inches, we have Cody Oliver. In 12th place with 90 inches, we have Rich Durr. In 11th place with 105 inches, we have Joe Edwards. In 10th place with 106.25, we have Jose Serrano. In 9th place with 107.25 inches, we have Jamie McLean. In 8th place with 111.5 inches, we have Cliff Bennett. In 7th place with 119.75 inches, we have Joe Parks. In 6th place with 123 inches, we have Nick Rinda. In 5th place with 133.5 inches, we have Jason Netzer. In 4th place with 134.25 inches, we have Trevor Montgomery. In 3rd place with 139.5 inches, we have Dan Grove. In 2nd place with 142.25 inches, both of them respectively, we have Douglas Spatch and Patrick Sprankle. And in 1st place, we have with 148.5 inches, we have Todd Spatch. Still plenty of time for these spooky standings to shift and turn. We'll see what happens as the tournament continues. Now let's get on to the fun part, the Big Fish Awards for the smallmouth division. We are taking the 2 biggest smallmouth caught from Pennsylvania waters, Maryland waters, and Virginia waters. And you might be thinking to yourself, but what if I fish the Potomac River in West Virginia? Well, fear not, goose and gulls. We're going to be counting that towards the Maryland division, for the Potomac River is technically Maryland waters. And if you're fishing the New River in West Virginia, we will count that as Virginia waters. Any other situation like that, please call me and let me know. But if you drive up to the St. Lawrence River to catch a smallmouth, I cannot count that towards the Big Fish division, but you can still count that fish just towards your overall standings. Alas, that is just how the paranormal activity spirits have told me, and it shall be. So with that said, let us get into the 2 biggest smallmouth caught in Maryland waters. And again, they must be caught by separate individuals. If a person catches 2 23-inch smallmouth, they can only count 1, and then we'll go to the next biggest smallmouth caught in that waterway. So the first, or the second biggest, if I might say, the second biggest Pennsylvania smallmouth goes to Todd Spatch. This 20-inch beautiful black pumpkin. Beautiful, beautiful fish. The largest smallmouth so far recorded in the event for Pennsylvania waters is from Jamie McLean, this beautiful 20.75-inch smallmouth. Now let us move on to Maryland waters, and we have Jose Serrano with this beautiful 19.5-inch pumpkin. The biggest smallmouth caught in Maryland waters goes to Nick Rinda with this beautiful 20.50-inch smallmouth. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful smallmouth bass caught from Maryland waters. In the Virginia category, the second largest smallmouth so far recorded goes to Joe Parks. This beautiful 16.50-inch smallmouth. I'm pretty sure this one probably won't last much longer since there are so many good smallmouth in the Virginia waters. I just can't wait for a couple of 20-inchers to start showing up. And the largest smallmouth so far caught from Virginia waters goes to Trevor Montgomery. This beautiful 18.50-inch smallmouth. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful fish. And that gets us into the side pot challenge for this evening. We have multiple categories. We are taking the 2 biggest species of rock bass, bluegill, walleye, crappie, and rainbow trout. For the rainbow trout, it can be stocked or wild. That's perfectly fine. First time trying this, we'll see how it goes. Without further ado, so far, the second biggest rock bass caught in this event goes to Joe Edwards, this beautiful 6.75-inch rock bass. The biggest rock bass so far goes to Derek Smith with this 9.00 inch beautiful rock bass. Absolutely gorgeous fish. So far, this is where it would stand with the rock bass if it ended today. And then we go into the sunfish and bluegill category. We have Trevor Montgomery with this beautiful 7.00 inch beautiful sunfish. And then we have Aaron Ball again with a beautiful bluegill that is 7.50 inches. And now let's get into one of our newer categories. We have the walleye. You can catch walleye from pretty much any waters in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia now. And I thought it would be fun to add this. And again, at popular request to you all. And right now, the second biggest walleye caught right now is 17.50 inches from Cliff Bennett. Then what is the biggest walleye? Drum roll, please. We have Nick Renda with a 23.25 inch spooky walleye. Absolutely gorgeous fish. Again, coming from some of our native waters here in Northern Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. Now let's get into the other ones, but we can't because as of this point, there have been no crappie or rainbow trout or snakehead for that matter submitted. I know I did not mention that earlier, but snakehead do count too, but I think the chances of them being caught in this event are quite dreary. As it gets colder and colder out, the snakehead bite does start to diminish. But if that ends up happening, please let me know. I would think it'd be a grueling good time if someone actually recorded a snakehead. Now let's get on to the other part of the show that is not as fun, which is going over some of the tournament rules. As you guys know, with smallmouth and largemouth, I have the right to refuse any fish with bulging yellow eyes, since the only time you really see bulging yellow eyes on a largemouth bass is when that thing is dead. And to prevent cheating, like people throwing it in a cooler and taking a picture of it, we're going to just eliminate that. And if it is submitted with a yellow eye, I have the right to refuse it. Now let's talk about measuring the fish. I highly recommend, so I do not haunt you as a ghost, get a kayak measuring board. There are so many nice ones out there, and it makes it so much easier for me to tell how big the damn fish is. So please do not use a Bass Pro Shop ruler if possible, or duct tape 50 rulers together. Go out there and buy a nice little measuring board. One eye should be facing up, the left eye for that matter. Make sure the face and the mouth is pushed up against the bump of the board, and then take a picture with at least 1 or 2 inches outside of the regular length. So if it's 22 inches long, make sure the 23 and 24 inches is visible in the photo. Now let's get to the mouth opening penalty. People always get perplexed by this. If I have to zoom in and use a magnifying glass to see if there's a little bit of a crack open in the mouth, I probably won't care and just leave it alone. However, if his mouth is agape like you're trying to shove a pumpkin in his mouth, sadly, I must penalize you. So if the fish was 12.5 inches, I will round down. So if this mouth is agape, instead of 12.5, I will round it down to 12.25. And at the end of the tournament, the top couple of competitors, I'll go through all of their big time winning caliber fish to make sure I did not miss anything. If you have any questions, comments about how this tournament works, if I did something wrong, if you want to yell at me, or if you think my makeup is quite amazing, please, you can message me on Instagram, Facebook, text me, or you can email me fishingthedmv@gmail.com. Be safe on the water during this spooktacular season, and I'll see you guys next time on Fishing the DMV. Bye.